All right, we're back. In our previous coverage, we went over filling out our account details and also basics of profiles and templates. And we started to construct this particular profile here with the euro dollar US dollar chart group. And we'll continue with that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with an hourly chart here. You could change the time frame any way you'd like, and here's a demonstration of that. I'll make this larger so you can see. Monthly, big moves in the month. Weekly, daily, 4-hour, hour, M30s, 30 minutes. You can see the little tabs up there. 5 and 1. Okay, and you can also change it this way if you'd like. Change the tabs this way. Okay. Now what we're setting up here is going to be specifically for the euro dollar US dollar. We'll start off here with a 1-hour time frame. We already have the 4-hour time frame set up. We'll move over here to a daily time frame, and here to a weekly time frame. Okay, and basically the way we set this up is it's kind of in a top-down trading sense. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save the profile as euro dollar US dollar profile 1. Okay, there we go. And we'll separate that so you can see that out. Okay, that's profile 1. Okay. All right. So here we go. Now I'm going to expand this, and you'll notice that once that's expanded, all of the other ones are large too. Go back down and see them all in one screen. We could actually do that. But what we'll do in this is set up what I like to call top-down trading setup. Now, top-down trading basically means you start off with a larger time frame, and you look to see which direction the trend is in. Now, people can interpret the trend in a lot of different ways. Flat as through here, and we've been moving upward slowly. Let's see, I want to move the daily over here next to the weekly. There's a daily. We're still in an uptrend here. There's our 4-hour, and we've lost some upward momentum here. And 1 hour, this is what we're looking like. We're really bouncing around as evidenced here. Again, this is just one way to set up a screen for a particular currency pair that you might want to study. Now this can be applicable with any of the other currency pairs, pound, dollar, yen, etc. You can set it up, and also if you prefer to trade on a smaller time frame, all these can be changed, and you could go 5-minute there, 15-minute there. I probably would go 30, but hour there, and say 4-hour there. Just a matter of personal preference as to what your particular trading methodology dictates you should be doing. But again, for top-down trading in a larger time frame sense, these are some of the parameters, and these are some of the ones that we'll be using as far as examples too. And a lot of people won't even bother to look at the weekly chart because they feel like it's too long term of a time frame in order for them to find useful and as scalpers or day traders. Now, some people look at all the time frames just to keep informed, but a lot of times, again, as we showed you previously, the very, very short-term scalpers are looking to get only a few pips of profit. So they, in particular, are going to look to grab small time frame charts like that, for instance. And that's basically that's the basics of setting up templates and profiles as well. If you wanted to insert indicators, you can always pop over here. I'll show you how you do that. It's a couple different ways. Okay, here's one. Let's go for one that everyone's familiar with, and that's your moving average. You can change a lot of parameters here with an indicator. The color, the type of line, the thickness of that line, where it will be applied, which type of moving average it is, simple, exponential, smooth, or linear weighted. The period of the moving average, be it 5, 15, or 50, or 200 day, as often used in the stock market. The default is set at 14. The shift, which I'll show you that, how the shift works, and that'll be the actual distance from the chart, and that can give you some interesting perspective too. All right, you can say we'll put it in all time frames if you want to, or you can put it in one, particular time frame only. We'll put all time frames, not all charts, just all time frames. That just means that if I change it to hour, daily, weekly, etc., then the moving average is still there. Now, for instance, I'll show you something else in the template. If you had that template in the candlestick template, and you call it candle 14 simple moving average, let's call it SMA, like that, and you saved it, okay, then you can go over here. As you can see, the indicator is also applied. Now, here's one thing to be cautious of when using the power of templates. You can create as many templates as you want, and profiles as well, which gives you tremendous flexibility. You can set up as many types of studies as you want. For instance, if you wanted to, you find some studies that are working particularly well on the euro dollar US dollar, you may say, hey, listen, I'd like to do that on the pound. Then you can do that on the pound. So I suggest you go to profiles, and you say the profile as Great British Pound. I'm just saving the profile prior to doing anything. Okay. Basically, this is kind of a new profile name. Okay, so here we go. And then I'd go through and I would simply drag this over. And there you're done. So you've got, your profiles all set up for your Great British Pound. We go back to this profile and hit euro dollar US dollar. There's a euro dollar US dollar in this particular setup, and you may want to call these something different. Great British Pound, US dollar. You may want to call it GBP USD candlesticks, or EUR USD candlesticks, whichever you prefer. But as you can see, there is a ton of flexibility in what you can do as far as creating the profiles and then setting everything up exactly the way you want. So as an overview of templates, a template can store the chart type and color, chart scale, any attached expert advisor and its parameters, and we'll talk about expert advisors a bit later. Any type of technical indicator, and any types of line studies as well, such as trend lines. That's what a trend line will look like. There's a trend line right there. Okay, just to show you what that looks like. Now that's going to be in the objects list. Two trend lines. You just delete those, and you're back to the normal chart. Okay, here's another way to access profiles. Up here you see profiles. Just click, go to the drop down menu, and it's kind of neat because you can kind of go to the next profile. We'll say for instance we're up here at the default, and you can go right through the next profile. And the next one. Sorry, wrong one. Wrong little click there. And the next one. So you can just hit Control F5. I'll show you how that works as well. It's kind of cool, huh? So now if you want to go the other direction, Shift F5. So Control F5, Shift F5, and that moves us back through. All right. So profiles are a great way to store groups of charts. These could all be, different. For instance, they don't have to be the same. Again, as we see here, or it could be one particular market that you're interested in, one currency pair, and it could be the euro dollar, US dollar. However you want to do it, you can save the profiles and templates. And here's something that I really like about this. Once you save a profile, you save a template, it's there. So you get an opportunity to go back and experiment with it. So it means that get into MetaTrader and go in, and you can you click some buttons, and don't worry about losing anything. It's here. It's all set up for you, and that's basically the coverage of templates and profiles. I wanted to show you this first so that you can have a framework for the other things that we're going to do as we get into looking at indicators and look at actual trading inside of MetaTrader. Thank you so much for looking at this module, and look forward to seeing you in the very next module.